Risky behavior.
The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior.
Yo, what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Risky Behavior ENT. I am your humble host, Mr. Diabolical himself. The news story that I want to play for you it's not anything recent, but it's insane. It's insane. It's pure insane. A guy by the name of Matthew Coleman killed two of his children because he told authorities that he thought his children possessed serpent DNA and were going to grow into monsters. And so he did this to save the world, is what he's saying. It sounds downright delusional, if you ask me, you know.
A 2-year-old boy and 10-month-old girl brutally murdered. Their father confessing to authorities that he killed them, allegedly telling police he'd been enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories, and that he believed his children possessed serpent DNA. CNN's Josh Campbell has more on this tragic story, and I want to warn you, the details are disturbing.
Two small children stabbed in the heart with a spearfishing gun. Their own father allegedly leaving their bodies in a ditch in Mexico. Mexican authorities describing difficult details.
Under the bushes, they found the lifeless bodies of two children, one female, one male.
Authorities say 40-year-old surf instructor Matthew Taylor Coleman from Santa Barbara, California, confessed to murdering his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter this week in Mexico, telling the FBI he was driven to the killings after being enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories. Police and federal agents were called in after the children were reported missing by their mother. Authorities tracking Coleman's cell phone to Mexico. Surveillance video images released by authorities show Coleman checking into a hotel with his children August 7th. Just before 3 a.m. on August 9th, he packs them up and leaves the hotel, returning hours later alone. He was stopped by border officials while returning to the United States. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers finding what appeared to be blood on the vehicle's registration paperwork, but no children. The FBI soon learned from Mexican authorities that the bodies of two children were found overnight, along with the murder weapon, bloody clothes, and a baby's blanket. According to the criminal complaint, Coleman allegedly told authorities he was receiving visions and signs revealing that his wife possessed serpent DNA and had passed it on to his children. Coleman also allegedly telling the FBI he was saving the world from monsters. He was arrested and charged with the foreign murder of U.S. nationals.
Just a horrific, tragic loss.
Coleman's neighbors back in Santa Barbara, stunned.
Just shocked, frankly. Immensely tragic, and having known the two kids and the family, it's just awful.
Josh, wow, what a tragic story. But this isn't the first time we've seen a suspected QAnon follower go violent. What are authorities saying about the ongoing threat posed by conspiracy theorists?
Yeah, Don, authorities and experts remain concerned about this movement. Now, there's a lot we don't know about this specific suspect. We've reached out to his attorney for comment. We have not yet heard back. Of course, there's a concern that maybe mental health may be at play here. But this case illustrating what is concerning for law enforcement officials, and that is you could have adherents to these fringe movements like QAnon that are predisposed to violence. Finally, it's worth noting, Don, that, the basis of this entire movement is this notion that somehow Democrats Democrats and Hollywood celebrities are preying on children, yet we see the hypocrisy here in this case, where you have an alleged QAnon adherent, someone who said that he was enlightened by QAnon, standing charged for the murder of his own 2 children.
We'll get some perspective now from Mia Bloom, a professor at the Evidence-Based Cybersecurity Research Group at Georgia State University, author of the recent book, Pastels and Pedophiles Inside the Mind of QAnon. Mia, I mean, I was so sickened when I heard this story, and at the same time, you know, not surprised, because this whole thing of lizard people, which is apparently, according to the FBI report, what this guy was believing his children were going to be turned into or were turning into, has been around for a while. And I've had QAnon believers tell me about it. I mean, just where does this even come from? It's been around for a long while.
So since about 1999, there's a British, I guess he's an ex-soccer player and BBC news presenter named David Icke, or Icke. He has been producing books about lizard people since 1999. He's produced about 20 books, and he's on this, you know, sort of the talk circuit where he gives talks to these very large groups of paying customers. And basically, it's anti-Semitic. They talk about a cabal that is controlling things led by the Rothschild family. So a lot of what Icke has been saying for the last 20 plus years fits very well with the QAnon conspiracy.
And I mean, it's an important point. I was talking to author Daniel Silva about this recently, that this is just age-old anti-Semitic tropes. This is, you know, the blood libel, the idea of the Illuminati, the idea of, like, you know, the Nazis says that Jews were drinking the blood of children. You know, QAnon people claim that celebrities and Democrats and others are drinking the blood of children for, you know, some bizarre chemical. What are they saying? You've been following, I know, QAnon channels since the news of this father murdering his children. What are they saying about it? Do they say it's like a false flag, or what is it?
So basically, I went through with your producer the QAnon channels, and there was only one channel that even mentioned it, because they were referencing a Fox News show, and they said it's a false flag. But we have such a short memory. There have been at least a half a dozen instances of parents, mostly women, killing their children in the last 4 months alone. In Los Angeles, back just this last April, there was a woman who killed her 3 children, also claiming because she was inspired by QAnon to protect them from the global cabal.
You know, people think that this is just something that's gone away with the man in Mar-a-Lago, but it hasn't. And the idea that, you know, people really believe this to the point where they're, you know, are these, I mean, clearly some of these people have issues, mental health issues before this, and this gives them a justification perhaps, or, I mean, would they have done this without these QAnon beliefs?
I mean, one of the things that my co-author, Sofia Moskalenko, found, and she is a board-certified clinical and social psychologist, was that if the average rate of mental illness in the country is around 18%, among the people who've been arrested, associated either before January 6th or as a result of the failed insurrection, QAnon people have a 68% indication of mental health problems, which is much higher than 18%. So part of it is, are they mentally ill and that's what attracted them to QAnon? Or is being part of QAnon causing this, because it's very traumatic to consume the material that QAnon keeps putting out there?
Yeah, and obviously we should point out, mental illness does not lead to violence. Most people who have mental health issues, doesn't end up in violence like this sickening crime. Mia Bloom, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty. And this is the article that I found. The Palm Beach Post, killer parents, 10 cases where mothers and fathers murdered their own children. And so they just had like all these different cases on here. And this is where I found this part of the article about this guy, Matthew Coleman. So If you type this in, you can go through those other 10 stories, if you like. So I wanted to show y'all that before I give my my final thoughts. When belief becomes delusion, innocence pays the price. So when belief becomes delusion, innocence pays the price. Matthew Coleman's case is not just a tragedy, it's a warning. A father, once described as loving and grounded, became consumed by conspiracy theories so extreme that he believed his own children carried serpent DNA. He acted on a fantasy rooted in QAnon ideology, driving across borders and committing an unthinkable act, all while believing he was doing good. This is what happens when delusion goes unchecked. Okay. Radicalization doesn't always wear a mask. It can look like a dad with a surfboard, a neighbor who shares memes, or a friend who starts talking about hidden truths. When someone's worldview begins to detach from reality, especially in ways that justify violence, we must intervene early. Mental illness and ideology can intertwine dangerously. Coleman admitted he knew it was wrong. That moment of clarity proves that distorted belief systems can override even basic moral instincts. If someone you know is spiraling, especially under the influence of online echo chambers, don't dismiss it. Ask questions, get help, escalate if needed. Children are the most vulnerable and the least protected when adults lose grip. These two babies had no voice, no defense, and no chance. We must build systems that can catch parents before they fall this far. That means better mental health screening, stronger community support, and platforms that take responsibility for the content they amplify. Okay. Last but not least, love isn't enough when reality is lost. Coleman may have loved his children, but love without clarity, without accountability, can become lethal. Protecting kids means protecting them from the people closest to them when those people become dangerous. Let this case be a call to action. If someone you know is slipping into paranoia, conspiracy, or delusion, don't wait. Don't hope it'll pass. Speak, act, because the cost of silence isn't just heartbreak, it's irreversible. We owe it to every child to be the barrier between belief and harm. Let's be that barrier every time. Thank you for tuning in. This is Risky Behavior ENT. I'm your humble host, Mr. Diabolical himself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all later.
Risky behavior.